This is Desert Homestead Prepping. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. It's time to get focused on these stairs. So, got some things squared away with firewood and, gravel spread for the driveway. Very happy about that. So now I'm going to get focused on this, and we'll see if we can get it squared away. So I've never built stairs before, so I'm hoping that this turns out to be nice. I don't know, there's probably a better way to do this than what I have planned, but what I have in mind is really what I'm gonna go with. So we'll see if we can get this squared away and get this all busted out today, and then get it painted and mounted in place. Alright, so this is kind of the best I could come up with what I have on hand. I'm sure there's a better way to do this, but this is what I decided to do. This is going to give me my angle. So I have this piece that was almost right to the edge here in the length that I needed. I cut like an inch off of it, so it comes right to the edge. So now I'm just going to use this as a straight edge, and this is going to give me the angle that I need for up here. So there's my angle, and now I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Now I got the same thing down here. So now that's going to give me the angles that I need. And I mean, of course, that's not the length. So I'm going to have to make sure I have the exact length that I'm looking for. And then I can put these angles on there. Right, so if you notice, you can't just lean up a piece of wood against it, because the angle's going to slightly change. Sure, you can, but then you're going to come out on the ground in a completely different place than you intend. And for us, we really want to have it in this spot. I don't want it in a couple inches or out a couple inches. I want to try to have it exactly where we have it set up here. So, alright, so now I'm going to figure out my measurements from the one corner up to here, and then I'm going to transfer these angles according to those measurements. Alright, so you could measure where these angles are and transfer them over, but I decided I'm just going to cut them and use them as an edge, as a marking to transfer over to my other pieces. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, so now we have our edge down here and our edge up here. So, of course, at the top there, I'm gonna flatten it out. So I'll measure that now. We're gonna have to cut a notch for the one leg versus the other. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this out, or I'm gonna measure this so that I can cut it. Right, now we have two identical cuts. Should just be perfect. So we're exactly flush right here, all the way along, exactly the same. Now I just need to cut out that notch for the wall. I have to make a slight bit adjustment. So I'm gonna have to cut this just a smidgen, like I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch. That's much better. There we got that right there, and exactly where we need to be. Very good. We decided that our first step is going to be just right off of this, the lip off this wall. We kind of help it so that this corner piece sticking out here isn't as noticeable. So we'll start there. We decided we're going to do about every 10 inches is going to be a step. I think that's going to be close enough to where each step isn't too far up from the next, but also far enough away to where, you know, if you get too close, then you have a hard time getting your foot underneath the step. You know what I mean? So it needs to be far enough away to where it's easy to get your foot underneath and then up on top. So I'm figuring about 10 inches is probably perfect for this angle. So yeah, that's going to put 9 steps in there. So that started off my angle. That was kind of easy. So I'll just figure out that angle and go from there, transfer it onto both of these and start cutting out my steps. It's going to be 21 inches wide is what we decided. Pretty good. Okay, so this will be the bottom of each step. So now I gotta cut out 9 pieces at 21 inches. So now all I gotta do is start screwing these together. Solid. So that's how it's going to look, just like that. I think it's going to work great. Still more that we got to do with it though. I wish it could just be as simple as now we can sand it down and paint it, but my wife wants to put some of the leftover flooring that we have, because we bought another box to be able to finish that up there. So we have some more, and she wants to do the tread of each step with this flooring, and we'll paint the rest of it white. So yeah, that's the plan. So I was going to come back and put some of these underneath each step, but I don't know, I just don't know if I need to. We'll see how it does, and if I have to, I'll come back and I'll put them in place if we have any cracking or anything like that. We'll see how it does. Hopefully I don't regret it, but I mean, these screws are pretty darn long and they're heavy duty deck screws, so I think we're going to be okay. So I'm going to go without these. We'll save them just in case I changed my mind. So now what I got to do is you just want to chip off some of this paint. So I'm probably just going to take a wire brush to this and just kind of scrape it off really good. And then I'm going to fill in these holes with some putty, probably just wall putty, because this is used wood. This is deck wood from I can't remember. I think my buddy LT gave it to me, and it was from a deck that they tore out and replaced. So it's got these holes in here from these other deck screws and stuff that were in it. So that's what I'm going to do. Just kind of clean it up real good, and then fill in some of these big holes, and then we'll paint it. My wife wants to spray paint it, so whatever, I'll let her go ahead and paint it however she wants to. I'm fine with it how it is, really. So that's me. We'll let this dry really good, and then tomorrow I'll let my wife have at it and whip out our spray paint and go for it. Morning. So, what do you think of the stairs?
They're good. I wish there was a few things I would like differently, but it is what it is.
Yep, too late now. I ain't going back to changing it. Took me all day, full day worth of work to be able to put that together. But I think it's going to work out pretty good. So we filled in some of the more obvious holes because this is reclaimed wood. So filled those in, and now my wife wants to spray paint it. So what do you think of that?
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. I don't like painting, so we're gonna spray paint it, and then if we have to, maybe do a little roll over the sides, maybe, if that, but I don't know. Then we're gonna paint these white, and then we're gonna do the faces white here, and then we'll do the tops to match the flooring on the top of the steps to match the flooring in the cabin. So.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't bother to sand down the tops of the steps or fill in those holes, because we're gonna cover those with some flooring. It's not really what the flooring's designed for, but we'll be able to get it on there and try to make it look really good. So she's gonna work on painting this while I work on cutting some of that flooring for each of these steps.
And we're gonna put them down with liquid nails. Is that what we're doing? We're
Yep.
liquid nail them down.
Yeah, so we're just gonna glue them down with liquid nails. Hopefully that works well. We'll have to see. I mean, if any pop up, then we'll deal with it. But I think it should be fine.
Yep. Okay. He was right. I was wrong.
Yay! Finally, for once in our marriage.
No, that's like five times
Maybe 5.
in 15 years. And I always tell him when he's right, if he's right, and then he's right. So I do not like the spray paint. That's not gonna work. It's not going on the way I want it to go on, or look the way I want it to look. So, spray paint is expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like almost $5-6 a can.
Yeah, 5 something.
Yeah, a can. So, even though I do have 3 cans of it, I'm not liking the way it goes on. There's no sense of me continuing to do something that I don't like. So we're gonna go ahead and get the white paint that we used to paint the trim, and I'm going to just paint this.
Yeah.
With regular paint. So.
So this is ready. Gave it some time to dry. So we're gonna put this in place, and I'm gonna take the steps. We're gonna glue those down and see how it does. So now I'm gonna have to anchor this down. Make sure that it's secure, and after I do that, then we'll glue the tops on these steps. Alright, so the next thing, I'm going to put this in here, I guess. And we're going to set this right here, and it's going to act as a, I don't know, kind of a barrier. Not so much a handrail, but something to kind of keep you from, I guess, accidentally falling off of this. We're going to do this because we're going to hold off on a handrail because we got other stuff we got to get focused on. This is good enough. So I'm just going to screw this down so that it'll be secure, and then she's going to have a cubby to kind of put some of her stuff in, and I think it'll do pretty good. So we just kind of set each step on here where it seems that it's going to fit the best. So I'm going to glue them down and make sure they're mashed down really good in place, and then let it sit all night, and by tomorrow it should be adhered good enough for us to start using it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. We'll just let that dry all night and hopefully stuck down really tight by the morning. It's the next morning. These have had all night to dry. It's been plenty warm in here with the wood burning stove and fans circulating air. These are nice and secure. I think this is going to work out well. So yeah, take a look, see what you guys think. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, still need to sweep in here and clean up. Pretty nice. Yes, I think it all matches well. So that's about all that we're going to do on this. There's still some finishing touches that can be done, but I think we're going to put a halt on this. This is good enough. And we'll see. I mean, like all the other homestead channels, it seems like every project is about 95% complete. And everybody has plans to come back and finish up some of the small details and never do. Hopefully we can be different and come back in the spring and get the finishing touches done. But yeah, so I'm gonna hold off on a tour because the girls want to get it all cleaned up and decorated completely the way that they would like it. And then we're gonna do a before and after, and Abby's gonna give you guys a tour around her little house so you can see some of the details of how she has it set up and how everything works. So praise God, we are going to move on from this project and go to other things. So make sure you come back. There's plenty more going on, plenty more that we're going to build, and hopefully step by step this place is going to look nicer for the whole homestead and more organized and functional. So be sure to come back and follow. Make sure you guys come back and we'll have more for you next time. Wish you all the best. And of course, keep us in your prayers. We really appreciate it. Take care.